A lot of the eyeballs in the sports and horse racing world going to be pointed out towards Delaware Park on Saturday afternoon ahead of the inaugural running of this year's Delaware Derby. And for more, we now catch up with Stan Salter. Stan, welcome into FanDuel TV. We appreciate you making that time for us here on your Friday. But get us up to speed, the buzz, the excitement for the very first running of the Delaware Derby.
Yeah, it's going to be a monster day. First running of the Delaware Derby. That's one of 5 stake races we have on Saturday, and that's going to be part of our all-stakes pick 5 starting in race 5, and it's a guaranteed if one single person hits it, it's a guaranteed payout of $25,000. But with an all-stakes pick 5, I expect that pool to be a lot bigger than $25,000. And yeah, we're real excited about the Delaware Derby, the first ever. There's 11 top 3-year-olds in there, and some of the big names in there. Trainer Brad Cox is in there with Admiral Dennis. He's going to be one of the favorites with Luan Machado aboard coming out of the Bluegrass. But the horse I like in there is the horse, the 8th, Surfside Moon from the Chucky Lawrence barn. Junior Alvarado, I think, is going to have a monster day here on Saturday. He's locked and loaded races 4 through 9, races 4 through 7. He rides for Bill Mott. I think he's live in all those races. And then I have Junior Alvarado on top in both the Delaware Derby and the Delaware Oaks. I just think Surfside Moon is rounding into good form. He ran okay in the Peter Pan. He's been training well here at Delaware Park. He's a local horse. He just turned in a big 47-4 bullet workout June 8th here at Delaware Park. So I like the 8th Surfside Moon, but Admiral Dennis is going to be tough coming out of the Grade 1 Bluegrass for sure.
Yeah, Stan, Admiral Dennis, you have big jockeys, big trainers coming in for the Delaware Derby and Delaware Oaks. Well, what do you make of Admiral Dennis, though, where I guess we're sort of hitting the reset button after he competed in some points races on the road to the Kentucky Derby and the Rebel and the Bluegrass Stakes? He really hasn't shown that much speed in his last 2.
Absolutely. He got beat by some real nice horses in the Bluegrass, Burnham Square, and, of course, East Avenue just came back to that big win last Sunday in the Matt win. So he's coming out of a real tough race. He was bred to be a nice horse. Not much speed. He showed a little more early tactical speed in that allowance win at the fairgrounds last January. He's been off since the Bluegrass. He's been training at Keeneland Well, a nice 47-4 recent workout. He has to ship. He hasn't run since early April, so there's some question marks there. That's why I'm taking a shot against the favorite in the Delaware Derby, and there's a bunch of nice horses in there. So he's got to be ready to roll coming off that free freshening.
Stan, it looks to be a very competitive field in the Derby, and so too for the Delaware Oaks. Will go off as race number 9, and it's somewhat a rematch from the Black Eyed Susan back there at Pimlico with the first, second, and third runner coming back in for this one.
Yeah, Margie's Intention, she won the Black Eyed Susan. Paris Lily, who was second, and Kinsey Queen, who was third. They're all going to be in the Grade 3 Delaware Oaks. And here's the Black Eyed Susan. It was a sloppy track at Pimlico for this day. There's a chance of rain in the middle of the afternoon Saturday. We're hoping that doesn't happen. No rain to start the day, but we might have some rain during the middle of the day. And if we get a sloppy track, then we obviously saw this 3-year-old filly by Honor AP, Margie's Intention, run a big race in the Pimlico Special, and Paris Lily was a good second. But I like Kinsey Queen on top at 6-1 with Junior Alvarado aboard in the Delaware Oaks. I thought she was a fast-closing third behind those 2 in the Black Eyed Susan. She ran a better race on a fast track 2 starts ago at Oaklawn with that nice allowance win, 83 Buyer speed figure. A race like that with a good rider, Junior Alvarado, and a ground-saving trip, a big race like we saw at Oaklawn 2 back, I think that puts the 1 Kinsey Queen right there. She trains here at Delaware for Greg Compton. Greg Compton having a good meet.
All right, so Stan, you put the check mark on the inside horse here in the 1 horse in Kinsey Queen. But now this is a cut back in distance from the Black Eyed Susan, a mile and an 1/8 to the mile and a 1/16. At least for the top 2 finishers out of the Black Eyed Susan and Margie's Intention and Paris Lily, does the cut back to a mile and a 1/16 favor one more than the other?
Well, possibly Margie's Intention, Paris Lily has more early speed, so the cutback could favor Paris Lily, but I don't. Margie's Intention was right there turning for home in the Black Eyed Susan. I don't think she'll be too far back. Kinsey Queen, my top pick, she's the biggest closer. With a cutback, it could compromise her a little bit, but you get Junior Alvarado, I think, is one of the hottest jockeys in the country right now, obviously. He'll save ground all the way around there and hopefully have her moving within striking distance, within 3 or 4 at the top of the lane. But the cutback could compromise Kinsey Queen a little bit because she is a deep closer, but that's not going to stop me from picking her on top, guys.
Stan, we appreciate you making the time for us here on FanDuel TV. What an exciting weekend ahead out there at Delaware Park with the Derby and the Oaks coming up on Saturday afternoon. Stan, best of luck to all of the team out there ahead of a massive weekend of racing.
Thanks, Stan.
It's bet Bill Mott and Junior Alvarado. Thanks, guys.
The 1-2 punch to be wary of. That's Stan Salter joining us live from Delaware Park.